Guys, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie Hansen and this is Candid Chats with Jackie. Guys, it feels great to be back once again. So in the last video I made a promise that I was going to give you just rundown about everything that happened during the time I found out that we were going to have a baby, my pregnancy journey, the labor story, postpartum, and all the other things in between. So if you're ready, I am more than ready. Let's get right into it. But before that, if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, guys, please just do the needful. I want us to grow together. Thank you. So as I was saying, so this was the year 2021, and before this time I had gotten pregnant and lost it. And so finally I had been waiting. So since that time till this 2021, I had been waiting, trusting God, and we tried for some time and waited, but it was still not coming. And then finally it did come. So when it came, of course we were excited. I was excited. I was very happy. We were excited that finally what we had been waiting for had happened. And so it was great to experience, right? Okay, so I would say I had fairly smooth pregnancy, no issues, really no issues. It was smooth. And because my husband works in a different region either than Accra, we thought it was the best thing to do was to just pack my bags and go to where family is, to go to one of my aunties, live with her, and hopefully be taken care of until the time came for me to deliver. Now in hindsight, we think it wasn't one of the best decisions to take, but it's all good, all the experiences and all, so it's all good. So I went to Elmina, and I went to live there for the time being. So like I was saying, I had fairly a smooth pregnancy, no issues here and there. And during my pregnancy, I think even before pregnancy, there's this book. The book is called The Supernatural Childbirth by Jackie Mize. And because I knew I wanted to have babies one day, hey, the way I read that book, prayed the prayers, professed, did the confessions, hey, I would deliver like the Hebrew woman and all that. And so my expected date of delivery was 7th July 2022. And so immediately we started the month July. I was so expectant. I was just ready to get the girl out of my system. I couldn't wait to meet her also. But then I was very tired, and so I just couldn't wait to bring that phase of the journey to an end. Now 4th July Sunday morning, I woke up with abdominal cramps, like very serious sharp pains, and so I thought, whoa, we are doing it, this is it. And so I checked. It felt like I felt wet down there, so I went to check and I realized I was bleeding. There was blood everywhere. So the best thing to do at that point was to just, so I spoke with the doctor, and he asked me to come to the facility, so I was checked. So I went to the hospital. I didn't pick my bag. I had packed everything waiting for D-Day. And so I went to the hospital, and then I was asked to go to the ward. After I was examined, being asked questions over and over again, I was asked to go to the ward, so I'll be examined. So I did just that. I went to the hospital around 10. Now they would come, the midwife will come, check. They have this way of putting their fingers inside your inside to check whatever they want to check. They see to see how many meters you dilated or whatever it's called. Now this nurse checked and checked and checked, and she said, Jackie, how come you are bleeding but you are not dilating? You've not dilated not an inch, yet you keep bleeding. So what exactly is going on? And she didn't have the answers, and so I was asked to wait. So from 10:30 up until about 4:30, I was still there waiting. Now by this time I was hungry, so I called, and my aunt bought me some fufu, serious one, fufu and light soup, favorites. Aside kinky, you would find me there at fufu and light soup, And so I was just about to dig in, and one of the doctors walks in, and he's like, hey madam, you can't eat, oh, we have to prep you for theater because you've been bleeding since you came. I had changed sanitary pads and I was still bleeding, still experiencing the sharp abdominal cramps, and I wasn't dilating according to the midwife. So the doctor comes and he says, no, you can't eat because we have to prep you and take you into theater. At that moment, my faith, let me say my faith dropped. From if I was there, I came right to a zero because come on now, what are you trying to tell me? Jackie Mize, I have read this book, Supernatural Childbirth by Jackie Mize. I have read, I have prayed and prayed and prayed. At that time, Alpha Hour hadn't started yet. NSP, it hadn't begun yet. But that time, if it had started, oh my God, you would have found me there. It hadn't started. So I had prayed. I had prayed. I was prepared. I had prepared mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever it took. I had done exercises, walkings, all those things you're asked to do so that your muscles can be strengthened and whatever. I had done all those things, and so I was ready to the natural birth experience, only for the doctors to come and tell me that I can't continue eating my fufu because I also thought I needed the energy to get into the labor room. But then they came and said, no, you can't eat. We have to get you ready for theater. And I was so disappointed. I was like, God, this is not the discussion we had. This is not what we talked about. So why is this happening now? Not to say, now this is a disclaimer, not to say that I don't believe in CS or that's all that myth and nonsense concerning CS. No, I'm an advocate for it. But I only, for being at my, because it was my first time, I wanted to experience the natural birth thing. That's the natural and normal. So I wanted to experience it. So, and I didn't get to experience it. Now the time comes for me to be prepped. I'm taken into the one of the rooms, and they have to insert those things they've been doing. They insert the catheter, and I have to state on record that had it not been for this birth experience, I would have never had a drip by the grace of God. God has been so good to me. I have divine health. Let me say it that way. I have divine health. And so those experiences are foreign to me. But on that day, on that fateful Sunday, I had to experience all those things. And they put the catheter there, wheeled me into the theater. Guys, I thought I was going to die. I thought I wasn't going to make it. So in my head, I was just praying, God, please. That word, I've forgotten. Mortality rate or whatever it's called. I don't want to be one of those people. God, please save me, save my child. And so the time came for me to for epidural to be administered to me. The experts who administer the anesthesia, one of them, I don't know if I wasn't relaxed enough. The guy just used his shoulder, no, his elbow to hit my shoulder. He's like, madam, you have to relax. Else the thing won't work. I was like, dude, what the hell was that? But now your life is in their hands, and so you can't just. I just looked at him, I gave him the side eye, I shook my head, and I just relaxed. And they administered the epidural, and I was at that all during that time. I wasn't so confident. I wasn't so sure because I didn't know who was going to perform the procedure. But then the doctor I had known and been friends with the one who had been taking care of me, he came through and said, oh, he was going to do it. And so he relaxed me. I got calm and I was relaxed. And I laid there. Within about 40 minutes, the procedure was done. And he asked me if it was a girl I was expecting. I was like, yeah, they showed her to me. They didn't let me, the first experience of body to body, whatever it's called, I didn't have that experience because they had to take her away. She didn't have any issues as far as I'm concerned. She was hale and hearty. She didn't have any issues, but they took her away to prep her and all that. And so after everything, I was stitched up, everything done, I was wheeled back into the ward. Little did I know that a second phase of something I never expected to happen to me, because I had listened to people's stories on Dromo Baby. I had listened to people's experiences and all that, and so I was sort of somehow prepped. So after the cesarean section procedure ended, I was wheeled into the recovery room and I was supposed to lay in bed still for the next 24 hours. Some say it's 24 hours, some say it's 12, some say it's 2 days. But there was this nurse who came in. She came to tell me that, hey, madam, after 6 hours, she said, madam, you can't keep lying in bed. You have to get up at a point to clean up yourself. You have to do something else. You're going to get stuck in bed. I don't know where that mentality comes from, but that's what they believe, which is absolutely wrong. After the CS session, you have to lay in bed. If it means 24 hours doing nothing, just lay there. So I didn't do it, and what followed later was a terrible headache I had. I had this very terrible headache as a result of lifting my head. I should have just laid there. And so, coupled with that, I was not able to breastfeed. I was having a terrible headache, and my sore was also hurting because it hadn't healed completely. I had to deal with all sorts of comments, both at home, the nurses, why am I not able to breastfeed? This is something easy. Even 15-year-olds are able to breastfeed when they give birth. Why am I not able to do it? I should be able to breastfeed. Why am I giving the child formula? Why am I giving the child cow milk? I'm like, if I was able to breastfeed, why would I deny my child or what I know is the most healthiest? Why would I do that? So let me just put this out there. I think people should just let new mothers, lactating mothers be. If whatever reason, I don't even care. If the mother chooses to feed her child with formula milk or cow milk, I think that is fine. What matters here is that your child is fed and your child is alive and healthy, hale and hearty. And that's it. That's all that matters. My journey to recovery wasn't so smooth. It wasn't all rocky. Yeah, it's all good. I'm here. And that's what matters most. So, I said something about my faith being crestfallen when I found out that I was going to be operated on. I think that, let me just state it again, that I don't have any issues with CS, but it being my first time, I just wanted to have that experience. And of course, I had also put my faith or my trust in God. We had spoken about it. I had done all the confessions and all that, and so I was expecting to have the natural birth experience, but it didn't happen that way. I think God is sovereign. Not even I think. The fact is, God is sovereign. God instituted natural childbirth, and He also has given these medical experts the wisdom and knowledge to perform cesarean section on people who would have complicated issues. I mean, if I did, just imagine if I didn't budge and said, okay, go ahead and do what you have to do, and forced myself to and waited, I don't know what would have happened. I've heard too many stories of women whose uteruses and wombs get ruptured because their pastors have told them that, hey, God forbid you will not go under the knife and all that. I mean, it's good, it's great, it's amazing to have faith, but in certain instances, can we reason and just follow the leadings of the doctors and the medical experts to save our lives, unless you also want to be part of the statistic of people who lose their children, or even to the extent of losing their lives just because they wouldn't allow themselves to be operated. If that's what you choose to do, well, that's okay. But please, I am advocating that that mindset is primitive. Let's leave it behind. We've left it for those in that class. Let's come into reality. Let's come into present day. Yeah? Okay. So what's your story? I'd love to hear from you. How did your birth experience, your labor, breastfeeding, postpartum, how has it been like? I'd love to hear from you. You can leave a comment in the comment section. Let's get interactive. And also do well to share this video. Would you please kindly? Thank you. And leave a thumbs up. All those things, I need them to grow this channel. My name is Jackie Hansen, and this has been my show, Candid Chats with Jackie. Until next time, stay in God's love and please subscribe. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe. Many blessings.